How do you paint a feeling? How do you paint rage or depression or anger? Well, I'll tell you how I do it. First of all, step one, feel something intensely. For me, it becomes like a rumination. I don't know if you know what ruminating is, but you should look it up. It's basically when you keep repeating stupid thoughts over and over again and getting worse and worse from it. So how do you paint a feeling? This is about the world, women, TikTok, everyone telling me that if I want to be pretty and beautiful and relevant and competitive, I have to do a bunch of stuff to my face. It actually bothers me quite deeply that it's a commonplace to talk about getting Botox and facial, I'm sorry, I don't even know what they're called, but it's not commonplace to say, I don't really want to do that, you know? Maybe my face isn't perfect, but I just want to leave it the way it is. I even broke my nose playing softball. My nose is totally crooked. I'm leaving it. I don't want to do stuff to my face. It might even be as far as like a phobia. But on the other hand, I am not at all judging anyone who's doing stuff to their face. Okay? This has to do with my perception of my own self. And maybe a little bit of interpretation of like what is beauty and what is beautiful. Is kindness beautiful or is a face beautiful? Okay, enough of that. Let's get to painting. My only plan is to use up some of my older paints that are drying out in these tubs. And I was trying to pick some happy, joyous colors because I thought that would be a fun way to start. I'm just gonna, since this is Sharpie, it's gonna show through the paint. Now, a lot of people would say, gosh, that sucks. But me, no, I want my idea. I want my idea to show through. So a lot of this paint is all dried out and it might be messed up, but I'm going to go for it because I'd hate to see it go to waste if it was still wet in there. So I got some of this old Hansa yellow. Oh, that feels so good. Just like press the paint into the dry canvas, over the gesso, and then the Sharpie shows through. I don't know, I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of seeing what happens. It's really hard to explain to people, but this is my favorite part of art. Though I wonder what's going to happen next moment. A lot of people, I think, like map the entire painting out in their head, what their colors are going to be, all that stuff. But to paint like intuitively, you just kind of feel your way through it. And if you have no idea of what to do to feel your way through it, okay, step one, get your idea on there in Sharpie. Step two, grab paint. All you're doing with this paint is covering all the white. It doesn't matter how you do it. Finger paint, swirls, marks. I kind of like how that's blending. And now, see how it's kind of dry brushing right here? If I just took a little bit of this flow and put it down, it's basically going to turn that acrylic to what feels like watercolor. And then you just smear it around. So you ever just want to cover a canvas, get some flow on there. You can be more liberal with it. What is flow? Flow is paint thinner. Liquitex Flow Aid is paint thinner. But for some reason, it doesn't really, like, take away the color. Just thins the paint out, okay? So I got some Liquitex Flow Aid here. Get a little water in there, too. Just filling the gaps. I'm covering the white. I don't care how I'm covering it. I want more colors. Bright red. I want bright red. Now if I add a little matte medium here, it'll just make the red more clear. Notice how I don't care at all right now about that drawing. I'm not thinking about that drawing, really. Okay, I'm thinking a little bit like the head is there. But all I want to do is get some rage into this canvas. When someone tells me I need to change my face to stay relevant, I get upset. And I wish, and I'm working on very hard, not getting triggered by other people. If anything, at this point, I trigger myself the most. But look, there's white space. I just can't seem to get through it. Let's throw on some more matte medium. Let's get some flow. Just put it in the white spaces. And then close in the gaps. If you don't know what to do, switch brushes. Boom, I'm switching brushes. I'm not caring at all. Going back to this marigold. Ooh, I picked a really weird brush. I'm going to stick with it. Oh, because that sounded satisfying. All right. Oh, that's very satisfying. All I'm doing right now, and I hope you do this too, I'm just enjoying the sound the brush makes. I know that if I brush it like that, it'll get really loud. I know that if I add water, it'll quiet it and smooth it. But I'm upset about this thing, right? So I'm pushing paint around. And as long as it hasn't fully dried, you can continue to push it. We're doing the first layer. We're doing some people call it the underpainting. The Sharpie to me is the underpainting. We're doing first layer of paint. I don't ever usually care about the first layer because how I paint, everything's going to get covered. And some of it is going to be revealed at the end. But I would never know which parts are going to be revealed now. I mean, the face, I feel like throwing some blue on there. Switching to a round brush. I've done a flat brush, I've done a thin flat brush, now let's switch to a round. I'm just getting shapes in there. I'm getting shapes. I'm getting textures. I'm crossing things over. I'm crossing over the black lines. I'm crossing over them because I can bring them back later. All I need to do is see a little bit of that drawing. Wow, this paint's really dried out, but I love the color, so let's get some chunks. And if you ever put blue next to red, it makes your eyes bug out. All right, so we got this intense subject matter for me, like something I get deeply triggered by. And I'm telling you very, very honestly here, this F's with my mental health, you know? And I allow it. And so I'm admitting to the world and myself that somehow I'm allowing this. And somehow I'm choosing this. And so working on this painting and being like, stop telling me to cut my face. I can say that in a painting without hurting someone I love. A lot of people who I care about invite me to Botox parties. I think that's fucking rude. I don't know why, but I feel like it's Like, I have a daughter. I don't want her to think exactly how she came out isn't good enough. Now, on the flip side of this, I am 100% in support of trans rights and people doing whatever the hell they want to their bodies and faces. As Cher said, if I want to put my tits on my back, I will. And you know, Cher helped me really get through the kind of fear I had about faces changing, you know. So I'm like blabbering on about this very personal stuff. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm 100% ally, 100% against bigotry and racism. Anything. I am 100% on the team. Okay? I am against anyone who's against equal rights for all humans. But I'm also like kind of pissed off that there's this whole generation of women telling other women they need to work out more. They need to be different than they are. And I had this really interesting realization last year that I was no longer going to tell anyone else how to be. I'm not going to waste my energy telling someone how to be. You know, you can't lead a horse to water. It might drown. So here I am, bearing my soul. I love you all. However you are. However you identify, I love you. But I don't want to have to do Botox and things to my face to feel happy in my life. Just want to paint. I don't even care if I have a fucking face at this point. I really don't. I don't want people to tell me I'm pretty. It makes me uncomfortable. I have issues. I'm working on them, okay? I'm not perfect. I thought that I was going to get through a lot of this stuff years ago. And here I am, still working on it. All I'm doing right now is, again, filling in all the white spots. I like going right next to things. I like going over things. So I'm doing all the things I like. I like to write words. I like to draw vines. I think I should draw a big vine. Honestly, I love that bright green color. Let's get some in there. Just getting colors in there. I'm feeling rage. And I'm using pretty bright colors. And I'm pissed off. And I'm fucking putting marks in the painting. I'm going to write the one word here. No. Right? I'm going to write stop. Why do I care so much? Why do I care so much about this thing I'm painting about? Right? That's the cool thing about the painting part. Even if it comes out ugly, you have this long time to think about the thing that's making you mad. Why is it making me mad? Why do I get so sad when people ask me if I want to go to a Botox party? I kind of feel like those things should be preceded with, hey, are you down with Botox? Because it's the like assumption part that kind of throws me off. And that this is just now the norm, and that we do whatever we can to stay as young looking as possible. I'm not judging anyone else. Trust me, this whole entire thing, everything I've ever said in this video, this is about me processing something I'm dealing with. It's about my perception. Quite often, it's about a stupid choice I'm making with my emotions. So let's put some more pretty colors in there. Get it all vibed out. Draw some little squares on here. It always makes me happy. Don't box me in. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what my normal should be. I'm still just making marks. Getting this marigold back in here. It's so pretty. Getting some of this bright color into the face. You know what? Let's go back with some yellow. But not Hanzo yellow. We need cadmium. It's a little warmer. Okay, now that I'm coming to the end of the background, this is when I start going, huh? Like I could throw things in right now that will help the painting. If that even makes sense. Now it's not a background. Now it's a painting. Okay, so let's try to do a swirl coming out her forehead because you know what? She's had some problems. She's trying to work through them, but brighter days are coming. She's learning how to see things differently. She's somehow able to not react sometimes. Every once in a while, people can just go about their day, have their plastic surgeries, and she doesn't care at all. This swirl coming out of her forehead is, you know what? Maybe I can see it differently. I think we need to go even brighter and do some white in here. Putting it in my little palette. Adding a tiny bit of flow to it, which is paint thinner. So it thins it. Ha ha ha. It's funny, it's obvious when you say it like that, right? And honestly, if you add Liquitex Flow to any tube paint, it'll come out really buttery like Nova Color paint. And it'll extend the life of your tube paint too. Now I'm becoming unstuck from this issue. I'm gonna tell myself I just need to be open to other perspectives and not worry about what other people are doing or saying to me. So this little swirl here coming out of my forehead is me. This is me figuring out how to change. You know, I can't stop the world. A lot of people want to try to stop AI. I kind of don't. I kind of want to see what the hell it's going to do. So still haven't really focused on the painting at all. I did put that swirl on the forehead. I wrote no, I wrote stop. This is kind of too bold, so I'm going to rein it back. I'm going to show you how to do that when it dries. In fact, I'm going to dry the whole thing. I'll be right back. Anyway, I'm having some intense feelings right now, so I'm going to grab my paint pens and I'm going to write those feelings out, knowing, keep this in mind, knowing no one else will really be able to read it. Maybe some of the bigger ones, but the smaller ones, if I just really write how I feel, like, why can't I just leave my face alone? Right? That makes me sad. That makes me draw an unhappy face. I am not okay with talking about it. I am not okay with talking about it. Question mark. I wonder why. Because who am I to judge anyone? That's their face, right? So let's do this one in a dark color. Because I would like to see this one later. You know, the realizations, they suck. And they're okay. Who am I to judge anyone? Right? Check this out. Let's do cursive. What am I? Oops, that's not so. I. So afraid of. Why does it make my heart break for my daughter? that a bunch of people around her that she loves and knows are going to constantly be telling her to change her face. Why? Why do we have to do this? Why do I care? Stop. I'm just going to tell myself to stop. Detach, right? I need to detach from it. I'm still like confused at this like weird new day and age where you can't oppose anything because it's unkind. It's just weird. Like I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I can't talk about the Botox thing. Okay. How can I help myself? Okay? The only person on the planet of Earth that I can, it's okay, control is myself. I want everyone else to feel comfortable to do whatever they want to their face and body. I don't care what you do to yourself. So I'm going to write some more stuff. What if changing helps people? What if they need to be themselves? Is there any possible way I can just let people be? I love gay people. I love trans people. I have all types of friends. I'm not judging anyone. I do not have to react. Right? So we got this whole bathroom wall stall going on. I love you. Right? This whole thing is about self-love. Me just being okay with myself. Because if I was totally okay with myself, I wouldn't give a fuck what anyone else was doing. Right? When I'm working on my own art, I don't care about anyone else's art. I mean, not in a bad way. I just don't. I don't compare myself, right? Okay, so we got all this intense shit on here. Who am I to judge anyone? I do not have to react. Is there any possible way I can just let people be? Can I just walk away? Right? Is there any other color I need to get on here? Blue. Can I just walk away without, this is important, without hurting anyone? Okay, so now check this out. I have all this stuff on here. You know what I said. You can still kind of read it, but we're gonna go back in and mess it up. So now, paint pen dries almost immediately. I need a kind of transparent color. Liquid text green gold. I'm just going to take it out of the tube. I used to do this all the time because I don't really like palettes. Because I'm a freaking weirdo. Green gold. I am, notice I'm going around, I'm negative painting around my drawing. I'm negative painting around the stuff that was in the original drawing. Okay. You can kind of see it brought in that little side there. I'm going to go around the head. Notice I don't care at all about where the words are now. They're just part of the background. I know they're there. I don't care. I'm covering them. I'm going over them. but not all of them. Just getting little colors here in the corners. All right, got some of that green and gold in there. My main focus of this next layer is to just kind of cover half the words. I'm going to go over the same spot that I had orange before, and I am going over it. It'll make that spot brighter. Plus, I don't want everyone to read all my secrets. Not all of them. You can do this cool thing where you just do some stripes. Ooh, you put some chunks in there. Feels so good. I'm kind of going over stuff, and I'm going to do a little bit of negative painting too, just so I can keep seeing my lines. Because I kind of forget what's going on up here. There's like a crown, a little smile here. And I'm going around the forehead and then the scissors of my original drawing. Always go over the edges unless you want to frame everything, which is expensive. And it's hard to price. And then it makes the shipping way more expensive. Like framing is cray-cray. So I'm covering the words, and I'm also using little opportunities to outline things I did before. I gotta get some hot pink in here. I don't know, it's calling my name. It's like, get me in there. Again, I am looking at my original drawing, the Sharpie. I can kind of still see it through here. And I'm getting a little outline around it before I completely lose it to my mess. Here's the flowers in the crown. Did you even know there was a crown? All right. Flowers. Crown. And then I'm also, again, taking in a little opportunity here to cover a word or two. Get those in the background. Oh my gosh, I love how the pink looks up there. I hope you can see it on the video. I'm feeling to put pink more here. So now I'm going to the next thing. There's a saw, hand saw going into the head right here. Very cheerful. Cheerful with the pink. So I'm outlining the hand saw so I remember where that edge is. I'm going to go up the side of the face. But not forever. I'm adding some strokes. You know when you write something on a piece of paper and you do little things so no one else can read it, like a secret message? So notice I'm outlining the saw, and I'm also not afraid to cover it. Look, I just covered it. All I'm doing is giving myself little ideas here. Where's that original drawing? Where the heck is it? You know, here, these two little background shapes are now showing me the head curve. Once I draw the whites of the eyes in, it's going to start to get pretty... It's going to start to get real. Let's do that. Let's do that right now. We're doing the eyes. Come on, get over here. Titanium white mixed with a tiny bit of flow. I do it every time. My titanium white's old. It's thick. If I put too much flow in, it gets too watery, I'll put more paint. Super chill. Here we go. We're going to piece back the painting. Here's an eye. I hope you actually really try this art style and that it comes out well, and that you look at that one day and you go, holy F, I was having the worst day of my life. I thought something really, really sad that made me really, really sad. I couldn't stop feeling, and I somehow, by the powers of Grayskull, I somehow had art supplies out and had this had the wits about me to know that like rage and anger and feelings are extremely important and they shouldn't be buried. You know what happens to a buried feeling? It does push-ups. And it gets ready to F shit up. Okay. So, now that I'm your crackhead ex-tweaker therapist telling you how to make messed up art when you feel bad, that's exactly when you should be making art. Come on. All that fetal position and crying. The eyes are in there. It feels so good. I kind of want to get the lips in here with some like dark, boom, quinacridone red. Lips. Small filbert. Just making sure the paint is nice and wet. It's going to be 2 motions. This might not be a big enough filbert. If it is, check this out. 1 stroke is the top. I'm just fixing it. It wasn't wet enough. I don't really care. Okay, 1 stroke is the top. And ready? 2nd stroke is the bottom. Now you know how I do, or start almost every set of lips I do. Oh my gosh, I really started to bring this painting together. Whew, hey girl, you're starting to come back to life from this rageathon. All right, we're kind of coming into the home stretch here. I always say that right before I spend like 5 hours on a painting. So my next whole thing I'm going to do here is outline this. I'm going to outline the head. I'm going to outline the things that are coming out of the head. And I want those outlines to match up. I will show you what I mean. All I'm trying to do in this little sweep here is cover my Sharpie line. This is Nova Color straight out of the container. Ultramarine blue. Look at this beautiful paint. I mean, come on. It comes wet, ready to go. You don't have to do stuff to it. Just boom. Okay, I'm outlining the head. It doesn't have to be perfect. Life isn't perfect. The original Sharpie line, if it was off, has more feeling in it than like a measured out thing, you know? So just go with your instinct, with your first instinct, which was the Sharpie lines. Sharpie's bold. Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. I want you to do this the next time you're mad about something so stupid that you can't control, that's totally fine and normal for everyone else to experience. And now I have this painting that's making me happy. And you know what that's doing? It's releasing dopamine. I'm looking at these colors. I'm using my paintbrush. And I'm making chemicals come out that help me in my life. That help me make life worth living. You know, that little thing called wanting to be alive and thrive. I'm outlining my girl. She has been through a lot, but she's coming back. And she doesn't mind this bathroom stall all over her face. It makes her unique. Reactions are okay and normal. If there's any way we can have reactions, even if they're weird and unhealthy, that we can come to terms with them so that we can say, dang, next time I'm in this situation where somebody says, would you like some Botox? I can be like, Botox not my thing. And just like, kind of like skip along, you know? We live in an interesting world. And I want people to feel free to be as interesting and unique and different as they want. I want everyone to feel worthy of love and worthy of being alive. I want you to feel that. And painting makes me feel that. And I want you to paint so that you feel that. And I hope you're not like, wow, Eva's such a judgmental asshole. I'm really not. I'm really trying to work against that conditioning crap that I get from the world. I don't want to be judgmental. I want to be of sound body and mind so that I can help the revolution. And if I can get more people to paint their feelings, their truth, say things out loud, heal themselves by speaking the truth and letting it go, then my work here is done. That's what I want. I've always wanted that. I show you how to use matte medium. I show you how to use paint and stuff, but I've always really just wanted to show you how to paint your feelings. You have to have some sort of a mini art station set up, or a little, tackle box, fishing toolbox thingy that you can just pop out when you're raging and go, I'm gonna make art about my rage. It's the healthiest thing a human can do. It's scary when I don't know where my lines are. And fun. Often I can pull my painting up. You're gonna love this. And if I hold it up this direction, and I look underneath, see where my hand is? I'm looking up here. It's backlit. I can see my Sharpie lines. Isn't that cool? So I can go back here while it's upside down. And this is so silly, but I can go right here while it's upside down and just get that one little mark in there that I needed. Yep. And I'll line this baby back up here. Hello. Oh, I can't wait to keep going on this. Let's go. Let's get this painting done. We got a little bangs right here. Hi. Bangs, of course. And then we're going to continue the outline around the shape. We're not going to cross over it just yet. We could do that later if we want. But sometimes it's fun to not. Watch, I'll show you why. Covering Sharpie lines. I'm really not thinking about anything other than covering Sharpie lines. I can totally let my mind go blank. And since I'm working right out of the jar of paint, I don't have to mix anything or put any more paint out. All right, so you can kind of see I'm getting this outline back. Oh my gosh, it's starting to look so cool. Like, oh, street art from hell. If you believe in hell. Okay, so I am going to get the saw in here. The saw is really going to make a statement. Okay, I'm sorry, my humor is a little off. It's a little twisted. Kind of has to be. All right, we're getting kind of straightish lines. Doesn't really matter to me. Just kind of going for it. Let's get this saw outlined. Get that vibe in there. I can still see my original Sharpie lines barely, but remember the green that I put in here? Those green marks right there are like my leads. They tell me where the saw marks are. because I made that area too busy. There's no such thing, but too busy to see my line. All right, now you're really starting to get the effect of this. I actually really want to do the eyes blue, but I think I'll do them light blue. But I feel the urge to outline the eyes in the same blue, so I'm going to. I'm always trying to, not always, work left or right so I don't put my... if you work right to left and you're right-handed, you'll constantly put your hand in paint over and over and over again. So if you try to work left to right, you'll have room to put your hand down if you want to. Not all people put their hand down when they paint. I always assume everyone does everything different, not the same. I always assume I can learn watching someone else paint. Not how they do theirs, but how I can do mine different, you know? Left eye first. Let's look. Oh, yeah. Come on. I'm so feeling this, girl. Yeah, I am feeling this, girl. So, let's see if I can get in here without making a mess. Yeah, there's a lot of wet paint around here. Oh, don't put your finger in it. If I do, I'll just paint over it. I like the mess. Clearly I like mess. Look at my art. Mess is the fun part. Really want to work on just assuming everyone's going through their own thing in their own way. And I don't have to have some sort of emotional reaction to every single thing everyone on earth does. That would be ideal, right? See if I can get this crown. I need to go back up under it. Where the heck are my lines? Oh. Satisfying. Okay, if this doesn't look good, just delete it out. Okay, I got enough lines in there. Let me line this back up. I got enough lines in there that I can finish the crown. Because it was these really sweeping curves that I liked. And I didn't want to lose them. You see? Oh! Oh, so good. I just like this painting so much already. All right. I like all the feelings. I like solving my problems by thinking about them. When in doubt, paint it out. Okay, don't forget this syringe needle thingy. Right here. Please subscribe, like, and comment. It helps other people see my videos and live shows. It makes me feel really happy too. If I inspire other people to make art, it's like my life's purpose. And you can try to make paintings like I do. You can try to copy this same design if you feel like it. I'm not afraid. to share everything I learn about art with you. I think it's like one of the only times I'm being really honest in my life is when I'm painting and trying to show someone else how to paint. I discovered this style after a rage paint, and then I just kept looking at the last painting I did and doing it over and over until I understood what the heck I had done. Because intuitive painting, the fun part about recording and doing YouTube is that a lot of time I'm sitting here and I'm having like intuitive painting moments where I forget I'm recording. I don't even know I'm on Earth. I'm just lost in this ultramarine blue, and it feels so good. It feels like so natural to create something. And our bodies make happy chemicals when we make art. So, like, get those happy chemicals, right? I've done a lot of stuff to get some happy chemicals. Tried a lot of meds, a lot of different things. No judgment on any of that. Self-medication is a part of life. Let's get that handle in there so it really looks like a saw. To me. To me, in my opinion. Okay. Wow, really liking how that looks. I kind of want to do this word over here, self. My instinct says to do it in white, and then let's just try it. I can always paint over it, right? Remember, I can always paint over it if I make a mistake or choose the wrong color. All I'm doing is covering my previous Sharpie lines. I'm trusting in that line. I'm not really thinking at all. I got my super wet titanium white and Liquitex Flow Aid mix, and I'm making art. And I'm trying not to put my hand on the wet blue. What is self? What is consciousness? Okay, I'm going to leave it like that because I can always fix it up, remember? While I have this white out, I put way too much. I'm going to do the little dot in the eye that I can also always move and always change. Remember, we're not really locked into anything. I wanted to do the eyes white, light blue, so let's do that. Just need a tiny brush, any brush. Yeah, starting to really come together. I am feeling like natural urges to stop, but I think that's natural. Your brain will be like, oh, okay, that's good enough, let's stop. But then if you just push forward, maybe like finish the painting, maybe you discover something new, or you just get more dopamine to shoot out, and then you're a better member of your herd. Get that dopamine. Serotonin, lots of stuff. Okay, we got the blue. Let's get those dark black eyes in there. None of this has to be perfect. You don't have to make art for other people. You could just make it for the experience of making it. You make it for yourself. If you start to think about if other people are going to like it, it changes the art, and it ceases to be your absolute true voice. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't think about selling art. Don't think about people liking it. Don't think about anything other than this tiny moment here. I'm putting black in the people. And I'm feeling the urge to do the nose, go back into the blue. I'm going through this fast because I want to. I want to get it done. I want to look at it and go, yeah, I finished my painting. Nose. I'm covering my Sharpie. I'm going to get a flat tip brush because I'm doing an X. Long flat. Dip it in the carbon black. Totally dry brush too. I didn't even get it wet. I might have, should have. Whatever. X. Yeah. That's, I don't want to say the wrong thing. That's what that X is. My mind sometimes lies to me. That's what that X is. We got to get that scissor really going into the eye. And then I'm going to get my scissor shape more in there. I don't care if it's perfect. I don't care if it's wonky. All right. There's the scissors. Kind of like it just like that. I feel like this needs like some stripes here. White outlines. Takes patience. And I've done them enough times to know that it's, for me, worth the time. It's gonna get my thing to do the thing I want. You know, stuff and things. Just kind of going around this blue. I know I can always go back around it. I can always go back inside it with the blue and make the blue come back if I cover it on accident. As I definitely want the blue to be as thick as the white. So I'll have to go back. All this is dry now, luckily, I think. So I can just paint. We'll see. I'll probably drag my hand through something. But there's something I really want to do after I do the white outline. So I'm going to spend all this time anticipating like my final move. My brain's going, oh, I can't wait. You'll just have to wait and see. I'm using this super mini shader from Royal and Langnickel, which is a really hard name to say. These are $5 brushes at Ben Franklin. It's so small, it's a 10/0 shader. Get out of here, ice cream sandwich garbage. Alright, I got all the white outlines in there. Really liking these little flowers. I think I'm going to do another couple flowers here. Just break things up a little. Just get some more patterns and stuff going over here. Really like how that's standing out more. Boom, boom. We got the flowers down here. Now right here is where I kind of wanted to do this last thing. Let's see if it works. I'm going to ruin the whole painting. Just kidding. I'm going to attempt to drip this paint on here. What I'm going to do first is shake it up. So this is transparent red iron oxide. The iron oxide ones are always like, God, it's so hard to explain. They're like always like separated-y, kind of like, anyway, I don't know why the oxide ones are like that, iron oxide ones. But so my idea is to drip some of this red right here, and it looks kind of like blood, and it'll be a statement. So wish me luck that this comes out okay. Here we go. Just dripping it. Get a lot more on there. Yeah, oh, I love the dots. See, that feels great to me. All right, and then just to balance everything out, I think I'm going to do little red dots right here. Red, red. Just get a little red in there. Nothing big. A little bit. Just a touch of the color. I'm feeling actually extremely excited about this painting. I no longer feel the rage and unhappiness I felt when I started it. Taking paint pen, just fixing the eyes a little. I don't think it needs much, honestly. And I'm going to sign it. Maybe here? I kind of wanted it here, but it feels... Let me look at it. Where do you want to be? Signature? Call me. It's saying here. Because the blood and the self thing, it really needs to be here. I actually think I'm going to do gold on this. Just want a thin little stripe of it in the words. We're going to go for it and hope for the best. Come on, don't put your hand in that paint, Eva. All right. This is my new favorite gold that I got from Nova Color. It's called Sun Gold. And it's very yellow. I love it. Yep. This is what it needed to break up that white lettering. And now I'm just playing that same game I always talk about where it's just what looks unfinished, what needs something. You don't have to know what it needs. You can just know it needs something. When in doubt, do a vine. You can crisscross things, paint over them, repaint them back again. Oh, this is making me happy. The original painting had some question marks here and some tears. I do want to bring some of the tears back, but I think on this side. So let's get a good brush for some tears and a good color. I just want a really bright teal. Okay, there's a couple tears coming off the eye here. Oh my gosh, this color is making me so happy. Okay, I'm going to go back and do these tears. They want to be here. At least this big one. Any of this wet? No. Big tear. Okay, and then off the back here, we got a teardrop. Oh my gosh, that made my heart feel so many feelings. I'm going to do another teardrop right here. Okay. I really think I should stop and sign this. But let's do some teal dots. Let's just break up all these other pinks and things. Why might like just a couple dots just break up where I can see a word that I don't want to see. And then I'm going to sign it. All right, when I do my signatures, I grab a tiny little Royal and Langnickel brush. I used to use the Blick Wonder Whites, but I keep forgetting to order them. I got my carbon black here. I'm going to put a tiny bit of flow on it so that it gets wetter so that I can, sign. But it's still really dark black. Okay. And then my signatures just keeps telling me it wants to be right here. So I used to put them closer to the edge, but now that I do prints and things that you sometimes need to crop inwards, I try to put my signatures inward into the painting more. Sometimes I hold my breath when I paint. I think I'm going to fall over. Don't forget to breathe. Okay. Is it done? I'm asking myself, is it done? We're doing the is it done phase. Oh, it's so exciting. The is it done phase. We're coming into the home stretch here. This might be it. Any other blue that looks thin? Right now I'm touching it up. This might be the end. I've already signed it. I've committed to being close to the end. I'm just darting my eyes around the painting and looking and saying, huh, what needs a little something? Anything. Kind of like how that ends there. I'll just throw some dots in, make it weird. Any of the words I want to cover? Nope, things are looking cool. Do a tiny little highlight on this lip here. Shiny. Just a little one. A little highlight here. One right here, maybe a dot. Oh, yeah. One right here. Something about her eyes. I can't explain it. It needs a touch of something right here. You saw me here. Very rare on YouTube that I did a painting. Completely. Start to finish. If you have any questions about what I did or opinions about anything I said, let's talk about it. Okay? I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to like myself. And it's a crazy world out there. Please subscribe. Please try this painting. Please make art. Tell people how you feel. Don't hold back or you'll regret it. Okay? Let's go!